What's up, everybody? It's Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, I'm gonna answer a question about a comment someone had about a repossession. So if you ever ran into a problem with repossessions, you're probably gonna want to hear what I'm gonna have to say on that. And then I'm gonna go over the debt that is being sold in the market. It is like gangbusters, millions of dollars, close to billions of dollars being sold on the market for pennies on the dollar, and they're going to start going after people for the money. And you need to be prepared just in case you receive either a court summons or some type of letter requesting that you pay a debt. And so let's get started with it. And what if you could do me a favor? If you like these types of videos, please hit the like button, because I've learned that to be able to get it to more people, to be able to help more people with the information that I provide, is that people must like the video, because then it does whatever with the algorithms with YouTube, and it just helps it out. It helps me help you, helps me get videos to more people that have questions about what we have. And you can look at the comments when I answer the comments and stuff, that I'm really trying to help people. So it's coming from my heart, and I just need you to do that for me as a favor. Now, something that I grabbed when I went to get my some stuff at the grocery store, and I kind of have a little cold getting over it, but that's not going to stop me from helping you. I grabbed a paper full of people having summons for them to come into court over debt. I'm talking about this here. This is one of those big tab type papers, and this was just 2 pages of it, and there's actually in here 4 pages full of it for just today. And these people are being summoned to court, and when you look at them, from debt collectors that are debt buyers, and they're summoning people to come to court to answer to a debt, that they've really bought from another company or another debt collection company or a debt provider, like what I'm about to go over with you here. And they send out they either send out the letter, or the step is they send out a letter, and then if they don't respond to that letter, or even if they do, they research the situation of the individual. If they believe that they could collect money, if they believe, sometimes they don't even do much research. They will do a court summons to try to get a default judgment, or to just have the person come into court and not know their rights. And that's what we're going to go over in this video. So please like these videos, because the stuff I'm telling you is real deal. Not out of some book. Well, you can say it's out of a book, because you got to learn this stuff for dealing with stuff in court, dealing with debt and credit. But we also do what's called live action, where we deal with customers. So this is real life information, because this stuff that I'm telling you is exactly what we do for our customers, exactly what people have watched on videos that I've made and have had success in beating down debt collectors. So the first thing, let's talk about the debt that's being released in the market. Major credit cards, and I cannot mention the names because that would be a violation of the YouTube terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you what type of debt it is and the amount, as if you haven't seen one of my videos before on this stuff. We got major credit cards, 3 different banks, 3 major banks, $6.6 million. Average account balance is $4,300. Charge-off date is 6/09. Past statute of limitations. Excuse me. Past statute of limitations. So this debt is not valid. I'm going to go over what you do with invalid debts in a minute in the video. The next one, same group of 3 banks, $4.6 million. The other one was 6.6. $4.6 million. Average balance $4,100. 6/9 was the original charge-off date. Same group. This is the group. They must just be like, hey, sell it. Just sell it. And let me tell you the amounts. They're selling $6.6 million worth of bad debt for $5,000. Pennies, pennies, pennies. They get one person to pay in full, they almost made all their money back. The other one for 4.6 million, they're selling for 3,500 bucks. They get one person to pay, they made all their money back. Next one, same group, 2.6 million, average account balance $2,100, selling the whole account for $2,000, pennies on the dollar, charge off date 609, 100% past statute of limitations. Department store credit cards, $4.6 million. Selling this, I have to go back to my emails here. Let me just type this in, but just to let you know what they're selling it for. That was the department store credit cards. Selling that for $3,500. So that's pennies on the dollar. Charge off date 2006, 2007, 2008. Past statute of limitations. We're going to get into that in a second. Average account balance $1,600. Let me get back here. Should have had this ready for you. The next one. Payday loans. Payday loans, small, but payday loans are usually small amounts anyways. So this probably ballooned up. These people probably only owed $100 and it ballooned up, or a couple $100, but $365,000. Charge off date 2016. This is potentially not past statute of limitations for most states. Average account balance is $546. National. This is from probably one of the online vendors because it says national accounts. 668 accounts, and they're selling it for 2,700 bucks. They're selling that for 2,700 bucks. Charge off date was 2016. Before I move forward, I want to elaborate a little bit on this. If you saw the last American Greed, it's on CNBC, American Greed Show. They did expose or American Greed Show on a guy that was running these online payday loan stores all over the United States, and he got caught. And what he would do, and I've seen this in my office where a person brought in the paper, and I was like, this is the contract. I got to do another video on this because the contract actually had that they were paying $2,500. I mean, not $2,500. 2,500% interest, APR. 2,500. We're used to, people would think like Tony Soprano would charge you like 16% interest. If you don't know who Tony Soprano is, or just mafia person, would charge you like whatever you would go in the market, they would charge you double, and if you miss the payment, they're gonna make your interest into the new principal and start charging you more interest. That's how the mafia would do it. Payday loan people are even worse than the mafia. Payday loan companies, what they do is they stack you with all types of fees. They get you to try to recycle the loan, so it all resets and then it goes into the principal, and now you're just resetting the loan. And this guy on American Greed, he was doing this all over the United States. And what he was doing, and you need to watch out for this because I don't care. Companies, what they'll do is they'll put together some weird contract and make a strategy to get you to pay more fees. It's really all about the fees. It's not about the principal. And so what they'll do is they'll get you paying fees and you're not even paying on the principal of your loan. They were showing people on the show American Greed with this guy where they had paid more than what they had borrowed plus more than the interest, and they were like, I don't owe you any more money. Why did you take more money out of my account? And they were like, well, your first payments were just for fees, and you signed that in the contract. All of these contracts that they always give us with anything that we do, The small print is what really kills us all. I mean, I can say that me and my wife, what we do is we take turns. I'll read some, you read some, because they can really try to screw you up with the small print. And so what they were doing is when people were getting a loan and they were desperate, they needed the money, and they would get the loan, and when they were starting to make their first payments, it wasn't even going towards the principal and interest. It was going to some type of fee for getting the loan, a fee. And then it was starting to go towards the interest, and then it was starting to go towards the principal. But people were getting into more trouble, or they needed more money, or they just uh, they would get a call saying that your loan, if you don't pay it off by this day, you're going to need to either reset it and start over again. But when they reset it and started over again, they had to pay a fee. But they thought that the payments were just going to keep paying the payments, and yeah, they were gonna, and maybe they were gonna add a little bit more interest. But no, that's not what they were doing. And people find themselves in this situation. There was a recent news report that stated that about it was either like 60% of Americans don't have $1,000 in their bank account for an emergency. So if anything comes up, car breaks down, flat tire, kid gets sick, miss work, whatever, they don't have the money to make up for that emergency. So they end up getting payday loans. I've even seen, and I mean, I don't want to be critical of a business, because it's things that they do. I'm in business, but there's a certain financial institutions are allowing you to get paid 2 days earlier. I just personally think that that's dangerous to get paid 2 days earlier. What that does is it screws up your pattern of how you're managing your money, because you're getting it 2 days earlier. That means you're going to spend your money 2 days earlier. That means that later you're going to be 2 days behind if you're not good at managing your money. And usually only person that would take someone up on that to get paid early, which they're going to charge a fee for carrying over the money, is that they're doing it for the money, and that they're doing that because they are not good with managing their money. So now let's move forward. We got credit card debt. Let's look at this one. $9 million, 1,800 accounts, charge off date 2003 and 2012. Past statute of limitations for most states. Past statute of limitation to even be able to go in your credit reports. Average balance $4,900. They're selling it for $4,200. They get one account. Whole thing is paid off. We have a huge file. I don't know if I mentioned this one in another video. $64 million. $64 million. Mixed major credit cards and jewelry stores. A mix of major credit cards and national jewelry stores. $64.6 million, 36,000 accounts, average balance $1,700. They're selling the whole thing for $8,000 and some change. $8,000 and some change. So let's first get into what you do. Step one. When these companies buy these debts, what they're going to do first is they're going to send out a letter requesting that you or whoever gets the letter that owes the debt, they're going to say, you owe this debt from this company and we're trying to collect it and we want to get paid on it. Our client wants to get paid on it. They might try to, turn things around and make it look like they're collecting it for these companies, but no, they're collecting it for themselves. They purchased the debt for pennies on the dollar. So you're going to get the letter, or your person will get the letter. You need to pay attention to everything in it. Usually on the top left, it's going to be the debt collector's information. On the top right, it's going to be the original creditor. And then below, they're going to talk about the specific account that it's for. This is where they start to trick you. They will not state that they purchased the debt, but depending on what state they're in, they may have to put some type of weird terminology stating that the debt is past statute of limitations and that you are ethically a moral obligation to pay the debt. They will say it that way, or they'll use a weird term that you may think is a legal term, but what it is it's stating that you have a right not to pay the debt. That if you respond to this debt, it's because you feel that you have a moral obligation to pay it. Now, what most people do is they don't respond to it. They're like, that thing was so long ago. I've watched all these YouTube videos from these other people saying don't respond to a debt, don't do nothing if you don't owe it or whatever, or you don't remember. Regardless, if you don't remember or you believe that it's past statute of limitation and you don't owe it, you must respond. You have to respond. If you don't respond, the law states that you did respond by not responding, and that allows them to go to step number 2, which is to put that dang information on your credit reports, because they have a track record of getting it to your address, unless it comes back where it says person unknown or it didn't have a forwarding address. That would be one of the cases where they would not have any material evidence to be able to put it on your credit reports. But if they did send it out and it didn't come back, not to say that some of them still won't try to put it on your credit reports if it didn't come back, because the bureaus don't always check that either. If they had information from the original creditor, they'll sneak it in on your credit report. But they like to do that step by sending out the letter, because that's what they're going to need in court if you know the laws on them coming after you for debt. So if you don't respond, it's going to go to step 2, which is to put it on your credit reports. And then you're just opening up a whole nother can of worms on how you have to fight this. But when you get the letter, this is how you could get rid of this quick. And for most of this debt that I just talked about, the way to get rid of it is going to be by stating a simple letter to them saying that this debt is past statute of limitations for contract law in my state, and that I demand that you cease all collection activities. Now, you may be asking, Steve, how do I know that it's past statute of limitations? You can look up online for your state for contract law. It'll say contract, and look at the statute of limitations, and that'll be for debt. It varies for each state. That's why I can't just talk about all of them here. It's different for each state. Most states are in the 5 to 6 range. Some states are 3-year range. Now, so you look up that. If you could also go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. On my blog, type in statute of limitations, and it'll get you to where you can see that page on my blog. So then you also notify them in that same letter that if they don't cease collection activities, that you're going to report them to the proper authorities in your state, which would be the state attorney general or the Department of Financial Institution. That's who handles the licensing for debt collectors. It may be a different department name in your state. You can look that up online. When you include that, they will stop, and you mail that to them certified that they received it, U.S. mail, certified signature confirmation or some type of confirmation. And when they get it, they're going to stop. They're going to send you a letter saying that, we understand, we're going to stop collection activity, and you need to keep that letter, because they're going to sell it, resell it to someone else, because these accounts have probably been sold over and over and over again, and they're just waiting for somebody not to respond and to slip up. So when you do that, they're going to stop. If you don't do that, they're going to get it on your credit reports, and then you have to do this, the same type of thing, but you have to do it with them, and you're going to have to also request a validation with the credit reporting agencies on how they were able to put that information on there. It's like you're just adding on to what you have to do if you don't stop it right at this point. You're just making it a lot harder for you to be able to fight. Not to say that you won't be successful, but it just makes you to where you have to do a lot more paperwork because now it's on your credit reports. You're trying to get it off of your credit reports because it tore up your credit scores, and now you're dealing with 4 different people, 4 different companies, the debt collection company, and all 3 credit reporting agencies individually to deal with this. So that's what you would need to do. If you have any questions about how to deal with debt and what happens after that point, if it gets to where you have to do a validation, please refer to my other videos here on my channel. I go into detail about that. You can just search through the videos on how to deal with debt. I'm going to be in the video here, but please like this video because I really appreciate it. I need it for the algorithms. This is excellent information. I'm telling you up front about what's coming. They're trying to sell these because they know people are going to be getting their tax refunds and they're going to want to get those letters out in the mail ASAP, so they can try to collect as much money as possible, get people emotional, get people upset, threatening garnishments and all this stuff, when all of this could be stopped right at the beginning with the statute of limitations. If you need your credit reports and scores, please go to the website link below. It's www.your, Y-O-U-R, the number 3, scores, SCORES.com. Someone had some trouble getting there. When you go there, it goes to IDIQ. So that is the right website for it. You go there, you get your credit reports and scores. You can see the charge-off date that they have on there because they will not reveal the charge-off date to you in that letter that they send for trying to collect the debt. Also, go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. The link is below this video. And please share the video or tell your friends and family about it. Please post your comments below. Ask your questions. I answer all of the questions. And if I miss one, let me know because I'll try to search through there, trying to make sure that I don't miss any questions. And please like the video. I really appreciate it. Please like the video. I really need that to be able to continue getting more people to see these videos and to be able to get more help and to be able to help them help them and you not run into these problems that these debt collectors are trying to make people run into. So I wish everyone a great day. This is Stephen Williams, founder and president of thecreditrepairshop.com.